Texas Tech is headed to play in Shreveport in the Independence Bowl. But before they do, the Red Raiders landed one of the best offensive linemen in the transfer portal. Who is he? Plus, a key Red Raider is set to return in 2024. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video. If you want to be a part of the most engaging Texas Tech community here on YouTube, and the best part, it's 100% free, and there's no other Texas Tech YouTube channel giving you this quick of updates when it comes to the latest breaking news, whether it's on the gridiron, on the recruiting trail, whatever it may be. We've got you covered right here on the most engaging Texas Tech community on YouTube in the Back to 12 podcast channel. So spam that subscribe button. All right, let's jump into it because I am really excited about this commitment for Texas Tech. And you can see his name at the bottom of your screen right there. His name is Toledo offensive guard Vinny Sciury. And I guess technically his name isn't Toledo offensive guard Vinny Sciury. It's just Vinny Sciury. I digress. Anyway, he's 6'4", 300 pounds, a first-team All-MAC conference in 2023. Pro Football Focus, PFF for short, graded him at a 89.4 as a pass blocker. That is 12th best, not in the MAC, not in, lower level G5, in the country. He was one of the most highly sought after guards in the country, multiple SEC offers, including Auburn, where he was actually scheduled to take a visit this coming up weekend. That doesn't look like it's going to happen, as he has committed to the Scarlet and Black. And this is one of those guys, in my opinion, people, with 1 year of eligibility left, that is an instant impact player. I mean, this is a huge commitment for Texas Tech. You plug him in at left guard and you got no worries going into 2024. It's that simple. He is arguably going to be one of the best pass blockers in the Big 12 Conference in 2024. That is not a hyperbole. Just go look at the numbers and look what he's done at Toledo. 2023 was not a fluke. He ranked really high in terms of MAC guards. I'm talking top 7 in terms of pass blocking in 2022 as well. He has started for 3 seasons. He has 1 year of eligibility left. And oh, by the way, he knows how to protect the quarterback because they had the MAC Player of the Year in Daquan Finn, a guy that it would not shock me if he's starting for the Michigan Wolverines, a team in the college football playoff next year, or the Ohio State Buckeyes. Those are 2 of the teams going after Toledo's quarterback. The guy that Sciury was protecting at an elite level. And I don't throw that word around lightly when it comes to offensive linemen. Elite. He was elite for Toledo last year. And it is one of those things for me when I look at it. This is the kind of guy you have to have in a Zach Kittley offense. Is he good in run blocking? Yes, but he is an absolute pro in menace when it comes down to pass blocking. And that's something that Texas Tech struggled with on the offensive line. They address it in a major way in the addition of Toledo offensive guard Vinny Sciury. Now, if you're excited about what Joey McGuire and crew are doing, not only on the transfer portal, but on the high school recruiting ranks, be sure to like the video. This is, really in terms of landing someone in the portal, the most excited I've been about a Texas Tech edition in a while. I really, really like Vinny Sciury. Looking at the tape that I found of him, he is an absolute mauler, a guy that loves himself some pancakes, if you know what I mean. He is going to be an impact player for the Red Raiders in 2024, and in an area that the Red Raiders desperately need impact players. Absolute monumental pickup for Texas Tech. All right, let's jump out and talk about another commitment. This one a preferred walk-on, though. It is Garden City Community College offensive tackle Jamarn Gooch. He is a preferred walk-on. As I mentioned, he is 6'8", 320, and he's a preferred walk-on because he's got some medical issues. That's really why he didn't get to play at Missouri, where he originally committed out of high school. He literally got on to Missouri's campus on June 1st and was gone by September 7th due to medical concerns. So this is a project for Texas Tech in terms of you get the preferred walk-on, he gets that NIL money to help him pay for school, housing, and all that good stuff. But he is a guy that the talent is there. He is a potential SEC talented offensive lineman. Now, will the health allow you to do that? And will he get up to speed quick enough? Who knows? But I do like the potential in the frame. Again, 6'8", 320. There's not many guys built like that in the portal that could potentially have an impact later on for Texas Tech. So this is a guy, you go in, you get him in the system, get him in the weight room, make sure the medicals check out, and then you see what you have in a potential guy that can have some depth qualities for this Texas Tech offensive line. And as we all know, you can never have too many offensive linemen if you're the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Speaking of offensive linemen, it's just an offensive lineman video, which is fun to talk about. Caleb Rogers is set to return in 2024. He announced via his Instagram yesterday that he will come back to the 806 for his 5th season using his COVID year in 2024. Now, remember, Caleb Rogers started on the left side of the line, switched over to right, has been a solid right tackle for Texas Tech, but don't be surprised that that flips back in 2024 where Caleb Rogers is on the left side, and then you have Ty Buchanan on the right. Now, it may not, but that is something that has been discussed according to Joey McGuire moving forward, and that would be really interesting from the standpoint of, again, Texas Tech has had struggles of keeping the quarterback upright and keeping them healthy, whether that's because of designed runs or just the offensive line not being very good in pass pro, right? If you move Caleb Rogers back to the left side, we just mentioned him in Vinny Sciury, you would have an extremely old, in a great way, left side of the offensive line with Rogers and Sciury right there, right? So that's something that's really interesting to me. Projecting, in my opinion, Wilson is probably the center. Then you got Jackson at right guard, Buchanan at right tackle. That's kind of what I could see going into 2024. But as we all know, they're chess pieces in terms of the offensive line, and there could be some movement, whether that's in the spring or really in fall camp if a young guy emerges like, Nick, or maybe even Ellis Davis comes in as a true freshman and surprises some people and gets some weight on early on and competes for a spot. But it's good to have Caleb Rogers back from the sheer standpoint of this. That camaraderie aspect for Baron Morton can't go understated. You want to know what your offensive linemen are going to do if you're Baron Morton. And Baron Morton and Caleb Rogers have played now for 4 years together. You think about that. This would be the 4th year, excuse me. So you think about that. There's some communication and just level of continuity there that you have to have, and they have it. And you could potentially have it on the blind side of Baron Morton or on the front side at the right tackle spot. Either way, you have one of your starting offensive linemen back at the tackle spots. And I would say that those were your 2 best in terms of what went down this year in 2023, albeit sporadic on the Texas Tech offensive line. It's good to have Caleb Rogers and his experience in all those Big 12 starts back on the Texas Tech offensive line. Again, the big one, though, absolutely pivotal commitment for Texas Tech. They had to get better on the offensive line, especially in the interior. They do that with the addition of Toledo offensive guard Vinny Sciury, a guy that I am uber excited about, and PFF rated as one of the 12 best pass blocking offensive linemen in 2023. Not to mention he was first team All-MAC as well. Just a monumental commitment for Texas Tech in the sense of where the offensive line was, and maybe monumental is too strong of a word, but it's a big one nonetheless, and a guy that is an instant impact starter for Texas Tech in 2024 on that offensive line. One more time, if you're excited about what Texas Tech is doing on the recruiting trail, not only in the transfer portal, but also in the high school ranks, be sure to like the video. And if you want to be a part of the most engaging Texas Tech community and the fastest growing Texas Tech community here on YouTube, spam that subscribe button to stay in the know on Texas Tech football all year long, not just on the gridiron, but off of it too, right here on the Back to 12 podcast channel.